My name is Justice Sullivan. My name used to be Samuel Agai, but it was changed on September 25th, 2010, when I found out I was being adopted by my dad, Jake, and my mom, Janelle. Living in Africa was very different from here. I didn't have a lot of things. I had 3 people in my family, me, my mom, and my brother, and we only had one bed that we all slept on. A lot of things changed when I came here. One of the things that I've found out that I like to do is play sports, and that's really helped me since I have a lot of free time on my hands. The first time I encountered Christ was about 2 or 3 years after I've gotten here. I remember it because it was on Christmas. It wasn't on exactly, it was like a couple days before Christmas, and it was snowing out. And every year before Christmas starts, we read all these Christmas stories about all the things that Jesus has done for us. And I remember my mom telling me that we didn't have to do anything to be saved by Jesus, and that we could just be saved. And I remember one of the questions that I asked was, so do we have to do good things, or do we have to pay for it or anything? And she told me no, we could just believe and we'd be saved, and that amazed me. Back in Africa, this was very different because my mom went to church, and she believes in God. But one thing, she always took us to church with her, but one thing we never heard about was Jesus. So when I got here and I heard about Jesus, I was kind of confused how there were two different people that could be God. But then it helped my mindset that Jesus was God's son, and they all have the same power. One of the things I struggle with is everybody says Jesus is very good. He does all these great things for us. He has all this power to change all these things. But when you look in places like Africa, Syria, and just these last couple weeks in Florida, a lot of people are dying. And one of the thoughts that come to my mind is, if Jesus has this much power, how could he just sit back and watch all these people die? And I found out the answer to this question is that God didn't create sin originally. He created us to live in a garden where everything was perfect. We didn't have to work. But man brought sin into this world, which is why things are the way they are. And it also shows that sometimes God can use those, it may seem to the world as horrible things, but God can use it to show his glory and to win people over. And that would mainly be one of my struggles with sharing the gospel with other people, is that if they ask, if God is so good, why are all these things happening? Sometimes I don't really know how to respond. And now I got my answer. So as for now, I'm just kind of waiting until that one day where I will get confident and be able to answer back. This is my first testimony, and my story is not over. And one day, I hope I'll be able to add more to it.